You might have seen one of my statues before. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build statues like these and break down the common mistakes that might be holding you back from creating these masterpieces. I've spent hundreds of hours developing this process, refining techniques that work across any scale, from mega statues to smaller intricate sculptures. And the best part is they can be 100% survival friendly. Yep, you heard that right. That means you could bring these pieces of art right into your survival world. I know this has been highly requested for a very long time, so I'm super excited to finally be able to put this video out for you guys. I've put a lot of effort into this, so I hope you guys enjoy and maybe learn a thing or two. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump right in. Step 1, finding your reference. Start by choosing a statue or figure that inspires you. It doesn't have to be an actual statue, it could be a character, a drawing, or just any photo. Just keep in mind you'll need to translate it into a stone or marble aesthetic, so consider how it will look beforehand. For example, I'm a big fan of angel statues, so I went with this one as my reference. We're gonna get started by blocking out the base shape. The first phase is all about getting the structure right. We're not worried about detail yet, we're focusing on proportions. I break the figure down into the simplest shapes that I can. The torso can be broken up into 2 squares rotated this way and this way. I place these down with Axiom's shape tool. For the legs and arms, I'm using cylinders with varying thicknesses. I use the path tool for these. Don't rush this step. Getting the proportions right here makes everything else easier later on. Once those are in place, I lightly sculpt and blend those pieces together. But again, the focus is still on proportions. It's much easier to tweak now than after you've added detail and color later on. With the base in place, I move on to the next step, clothing. For this, I use the Archeon Loft tool. To make the process easier to follow, I mark my loft selections with the following blocks. Redstone blocks for my starting points, emerald blocks for the middle points, and finally diamond blocks for my end points. From there, I make clean sweeping selections, 1 row at a time. After all the rows are done, I set the loft and the fabric begins to take shape. I recommend gathering reference images from multiple angles of real statues, or just photos of fabric. The goal is to mimic the natural flow of clothing, soft, curved, slightly windswept, not stiff or blocky. I do this a few more times all around the build, taking my time creating every little fold. Once the base clothing is set, I go back and clean up any errors. Then I move on to sculpting. Using the weld tool and the melt tool, I refine the flow of the fabric, adding volume and removing some here and there. Gentle vertical curves can simulate wrinkles and give the cloth that fluid, lifelike feel. I also thicken up other areas of the body, simulating thicker folds and pieces of her clothing. Now we move on to the head and the hair. For the head, I begin with a simple sphere and cylinder for the neck. I blend them together and then add a rough hairstyle on top. And now for the best part and the last shaping step, the wings. Wings are a whole separate challenge, but they can also elevate any statue. No pun intended. I split the process into 3 parts. Establish the basic wing shape. Add feathers in layers, remove the base and connect the feathers to the wing's bones. I used the loft tool here as well, but this time I decided to use only 1 of each block per selection line, since they're closer together. That way I don't get confused and select it in the wrong order. Once I have a good base, I start layering feathers, starting with the largest and working my way in. I also used the loft tool for these. Instead of fully deleting the base, I decided to convert it into smaller feather segments. Then I build up the wing bones to hold everything together. Pro tip, if both wings match, you can mirror the finished wing by selecting it with the Axiom wand tool, duplicating it, and flipping it to the other side. Before we start texturing, I do a final round of detailing. hands, fabric folds, and hair flow. This is your last chance to fix any errors before locking everything in with texture. Trust me, fixing problems now is way easier than after you've started coloring. Now let's give this statue life and begin texturing and shading. Firstly, I select the statue and use the shadow command to drop in primary shadows. Then I block in the base color. In this case, polished tuff for that bronze look with a hint of green. Since I do want this statue to be survival friendly, I will try my best and use farmable or easy to collect blocks. I layer in highlights using tuff and light gray concrete, and I deepen the shadows with dried kelp blocks for that subtle green undertone. The back, being mostly in shade, gets a darker palette, and once major shadows and highlights are placed, I start blending. This is also where you can use texturing to simulate wrinkles that are too small to sculpt, especially useful on clothes and feathers. I follow the same process on the wings, which typically use a darker palette since they're angled away from the light source. Again, if the wings match, mirror the textured one to the other side. Last step is smoothing and stair slabbing. Here is where your build starts looking sculpted, not just Minecrafty and blocky. This process is all about refining existing curves using stairs, slabs, and other partial blocks. You're not making the statue bigger, you're just smoothing out what's already there. For example, we have this curve right here. We can use stairs, slabs, and other blocks to make it look even smoother, without ever increasing the size of it. This is the secret behind those highly detailed small statues that still feel organic and real. If you're building in survival, hollow the statue out now to save on unnecessary materials. If you don't plan on using this in your world, feel free to skip this step. Bit by bit, as you smooth and carve, the statue starts coming to life. Now for a bonus step, I'm going to be adding a base fountain. To finish this build off, I created a silhouette of a circular platform and revolved it around itself into a fountain shape. I used Axiom's AutoShade tool to match the statue's palette, then added water features and channels to complete the design. And that's it. That's how I build professional level statues in Minecraft, from planning to final polish. If you don't want to go through all these steps yourself, you can download all these finished statues on my Patreon or website. Links are in the description. You'll be supporting the channel and getting access to some of these beautiful assets. As always, thank you to my amazing Patreon and YouTube members for making this possible. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this helps you out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.